Hi folks, we're Travel with Johnny and Will, and thanks for joining us. We are currently on board Marella Discovery 2. We're doing our Spanish Flavors cruise, and we want to chat to you about our day 4 whenever we were docked in the city of Barcelona. So, we have been to Barcelona before, and we've flown into Barcelona many times to catch cruises. So we didn't actually want to get off today. We had bits and pieces to do for our channel, and we wanted to spend a bit of the day on the ship whenever it was relatively quiet. So we had a self-imposed SEADAY. And it's actually something we would recommend doing to anybody. We often do these now on cruises because sometimes it is nice whenever a lot of people leave the ship and the ship's a lot quieter. And you just get a chance to sort of experience different parts of the ship, maybe that are normally busier. So we would definitely recommend trying that. So our day started off, we got up, and we actually made it for breakfast.
The first time, this cruise, so day 4, first breakfasts we've had on board.
Yeah, we've sort of been enjoying having a lie-in. So today we got up and we went to the Islands buffet for our breakfast.
So quite unusually for a cruise ship, the buffet onboard Discovery 2 is right at the front of the ship, which is very unusual. We've never had that before, I don't think. And it's a beautiful buffet. It's surrounded by this massive glass facade, and in the middle of it there's like another layer, and it's like more light comes in. It's just a really nice space to sit and enjoy your food.
Yeah, and where our cabin is situated, we're in cabin 7520, so it's literally 2 decks straight up from us. So it is so handy, and I don't actually know why we haven't sort of been there more, but
no.
But we're not normally a big fan
that's
of
only because we've been eating all the other offerings that are on board, as there's so many. So in terms of what was available, it was all fairly standard that you would see on any other cruise ship, but there was cereals, there was a selection of yogurts, your fruits, your breads, cheeses and your hams. There's a selection of pastries, obviously your hot and cold drinks and juices, a full selection of hot food. There was an omelette station, there was a toast station, and today the buttermilk pancakes were the special.
Yeah, so like always at breakfast time I start off with a bit of bircher muesli and then a bit of a cook selection, and I have to say the food was really yummy and it was hot, which was good.
I just had my usual cereal and fruit and it was all good. And actually they had Special K, which is a very sort of British thing, but yeah, it's just unusual to get that on a cruise ship, and I like it.
So afterwards, it was a beautiful morning, so we decided just to go out onto deck 10 and just go for a little bit of a dander.
So we made it round to the back of the ship, and on the back of the ship there's this lovely big climbing wall, which I won't be climbing. It looks quite scary. And then in front of that there is a mini golf course. So we spotted it and we thought, right, well, let's just have a game. No surprise who won. It's always Johnny that wins the mini golf. I usually win the 10-pin bowling, but yeah, it was good fun. It passed.
I'll give you the fact that you always win the 10-pin bowling because I got tiny hands.
Right.
But yes, I won the mini golf. But again, it was nice. It was it was a beautiful day out there. There was quite a few people about playing mini golf too, and it was really enjoyable. So as we made our way back in, I decided that I wanted a victory drink, so we went to the coffee port. And I had a beautiful cappuccino. And
I had a nice hot chocolate.
Yeah, you had hot chocolate. It did look quite nice, actually. But the coffee port is beautiful area, just sort of surrounding the atrium on deck 6.
Yeah.
But beautiful seating, very comfortable seating, and it is just sort of a nice chilled area that is generally quiet unless there is something on.
Yeah, and they do like some of the activities there, like they did the knit natter one morning, and they also have a selection of books, and they have board games as well if you want to sit and play. And I actually seen 2 fellas playing Monopoly, and they were really into it. There was stuff going on everywhere.
That could take all day.
They must have been there hours, yeah. So then we just wanted to find a little quiet area on the ship, so we decided to go to the Squid and Anchor. So it's not open yet, so it was really quiet, and I just wanted to catch up on some YouTube work. And actually then I went after this to capture more ship tour footage. So here's a little sneak peek of what will be coming to the channel soon.
So after we had our little morning doing our work for the channel and gathering more footage, we headed back to the cabin just to dump our rucksacks and things like that, our backpacks, and then we made our way then outside to the snack shack. So as we explained before, the snack shack is sort of like a grab and go kind of fast food kind of area beside the pool. And I actually had a little Asian beef salad, which you had too. And then I also then had, they do like chicken burgers, beef burgers. So I didn't really want the bread. So I asked, could I have the chicken fillets from the chicken burger, but with chips. And I had that with with the salad. And it was beautiful. The chicken was cooked really well, just on the hot plate and things. And couldn't fault it. It was really tasty.
So I had the Asian salad as well. And then I had a hot dog with fried onions and chips. And also a little cookie at the end. And it was all really good. In addition to the hot food, there is a full selection of chilled stuff, which includes the salad, like we've said, sandwiches, and also little fruit cups.
It is just very handy because everything there is just sort of grab and go.
It's ready.
Yeah, it's ready. So even if you sort of didn't really want to sit outside, or if you'd just come back from an excursion or something, you could sort of just go there, grab a few things, and even come back to your cabin and eat it. So it's really, really handy up there. This afternoon, it was a beautiful day, as we said, so I wanted to chill. So we got a few drinks and brought them back to the cabin after lunch, and I actually just sat out on our balcony. It was so nice just to sort of be there. Obviously, you know, we had the port next to us, so therefore I was sort of watching all the comings and goings, which was quite nice, just to sort of watch the world go by.
Yeah, it's quite a busy little... Obviously, it's a big cruise harbour, so all the cruise ships are lined up. But there's also a lot of little ships that will come and go. And as we were on that side, it is nice to just sit and watch the world go by, really. So I had spotted in the cruise news that they do afternoon tea in the buffet, which is at the Islands restaurant on Deck 9. So, and it runs from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So I wanted to go up, have a look, see what was on offer. And there was definitely a lot to choose from, as you'll see now from the footage on the screen.
Yeah, so there's so much more to offer than just finger sandwiches and scones. As you've seen there, and I had a little scone, a little bit of a finger sandwich, which was really nice. It was like roast beef and like mustard, and a little tiny sausage roll.
They had little pizza rolls. I had a sausage roll. I had a thing called a cheesecake cone, which was cheesecake mixture in the cone.
You really liked that?
I really liked it. And it had biscuit crumb on it and a salted caramel drizzle, which was sort of game-changing a wee bit. It was really good, yeah.
It was something different,
something you wouldn't have expected in afternoon tea.
No,
to be getting
not.
Something like that. So, yeah, I think they're really stepping up on their offerings, and it's good.
So we weren't upstairs long, like I say, it was just to sort of take a sneak peek and grab a little bite. So whenever we come back down to the cabin again, just to chill on the balcony for the sail away, it was really beautiful. Like I said, the weather has been great this cruise so far. So unfortunately, yes, I'm sure people back home are jealous because I think at the minute there's like ice, snow,
there's a storm,
and like a storm back home. So sorry, yeah. So then we sort of like deliberated a wee bit then about where we were going to go that night for our dinner, because we had looked at the menus, and that's something that you can do on the TUI Navigate app, is that you can see each of the restaurants and what the menus are for that day. So we'd looked at 47. We actually looked at the Islands buffet because we do, whenever we are on a cruise, like to try and get round as many as eateries as possible, so that we know what we can share with you guys. So we wanted to think about going to the Islands Buffet tonight, but it was sort of Mexican night. Now we do like Mexican food, but I just wasn't really in the mood for Mexican food.
Yeah, Taste of Mexican was on the menu.
Yeah, and then they do have like a roast dinner as well. So we decided that we would try the new restaurant called Piccadilly's. And when we got chatting to our waiter that evening, he was telling us that literally this was the first cruise that Piccadilly's was opened.
It was offered, yeah.
Yeah. And so basically it's in the Gallery 47 restaurant, so that's on deck 5. So it's sort of the upper level of the main dining room, and it's to one side. Now don't ask me whether it was port or starboard, because I can't remember. It was port side. And so basically... No?
Starboard. Because I was thinking when you go into the restaurant, it's forward, but it's backwards, so...
Even Will doesn't know. But it's on one side anyway, you can't go wrong. There's a big sign. As you can see now, there's a big sign that says Piccadilly's. So basically, this restaurant is like traditional kind of British foods with a twist. Now, the easiest way to explain this would be, we were on Marella Voyager last year. If you haven't checked out those vlogs, then we'll link it here. But there is a specialty restaurant there called the Silver Fork, which is quite similar to the concept of Piccadilly's. Silver Fork is on another level again, but and totally worth the money if you get the chance to book it. But Piccadilly's, like I say, taste of sort of British food, but with a twist.
So here's a quick look at the menu for Piccadilly's. What do you think you would pick?
For starters, I wanted the mushroom soup. And I was sort of sitting waiting for the soup coming, and I thought, why has nobody offered me a little bread roll? My little plate was there and looking all alone. But all was revealed then whenever my mushroom soup came. Because basically, the soup is served in a huge bread roll.
I would call it like a cob.
Well, it was bread.
Yeah, it was like a round loaf with the insides.
Like...
The top was cut, the insides were pulled out, and the soup was poured in. And you could lift it, and it was full of soup. It was,
yeah. I've never had anything like that before. Normally I'm just used to soup in an oil bowl.
Like,
Or a cup.
Or a cup, yeah. So, I had the chips and gravy, which I will put a picture up now.
Well, no, before we do that, whenever you're thinking about chips and gravy, what do you think about?
What do you think about? I go to like a chippy sized portion of chips and like chippy gravy, but obviously it was as a starter, so it wasn't gonna be. I was thinking it was gonna be a smaller portion of that, but no, it was basically 4 chips. But I'm not even sure if they were like made up with potato, and then there was polenta on the outside of it, and then they were deep fried, and then the gravy was like a little spot of sauce on the plate that was the colour of gravy, and that was it.
I was so glad I didn't pick it, because when I looked at the menu, I said to the waiter, I either want the chips and gravy or the mushroom soup. And I want the mushroom soup, but I don't want to have food envy of him. And the waiter laughed, and he was like, have the mushroom soup, sir. I'm so glad I did.
But even if this thing passed you, if you were sitting at another table and then you saw that, you wouldn't even have thought that what I got was chips and gravy. It was really nice, but it just wasn't fully what I expected it was going to be. So.
Maybe when we get home, we can have a chip and gravy from the chippy.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then for the main course, then I had ordered the roast chicken dinner, and oh my goodness, it was really beautiful. It was chicken. It was like stuffed chicken. There was a wee bit too much stuffing for my liking. I'm not a huge sort of.
There was ham in it too, wasn't
there? I'm not a huge sort of stuffing fan, but it was nice. It was beautiful though, and the chicken. But the roast potatoes were done, I think, in like goose fat or something. I just remember them tasting like how my granda used to cook his roast potatoes on like his Sunday dinner, and I used to always like having them.
So the potatoes are really good.
Yeah, amazing.
Better than my chips.
Yeah. What did you have for your main?
So I had the steak and eel pie. Oh my goodness. It was so good. It was a proper pie, fully enclosed, no soggy bottoms here. And it was, the mash was in the middle of the plate and the pie was set on top. And then on top of that, there was a pea puree. It was really, really good. It was so good. And the meat. And
there was a few strange noises.
So good.
There was a few strange noises that came out of Will whenever he started eating this pie at the table.
The pastry was quite tough to get through, but I really liked the pastry like that. Nice and tough.
So for the desserts then, we both chose the same thing, which was called the chocolate bourbon.
Chocolate bourbon. Like a biscuit.
So it was kind of like a bourbon biscuit,
but
instead of like a chocolate cream in the middle of it, it was ice cream.
Ice cream.
It was nice. I enjoyed it. It wasn't what I sort of wanted it to be. I kind of would have wanted like a chocolate sauce or something as well.
Yeah.
To me, it was quite dry, but it is exactly what it said it was in the menu. So that was just, I probably would have wanted.
I think it could have done with
sauce.
less ice cream in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you know, because if you think of a bourbon, like the two biscuits and the layer, they're nearly all the same thickness.
Yeah.
Whereas this was like massive with the ice cream.
But it was really nice.
We didn't not eat it all.
Of course we did.
I ate all of it.
So we have to say that we really enjoyed our dining experience at Piccadilly's, and certainly, folks, please try it. And obviously, we had left feedback on the Two Never Get app because the waiter had sort of asked us, had we enjoyed it, and could we give some feedback
we forgot about
our meeting? What's that?
Our crisps at the start.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that. So so whenever you go in and whenever you're waiting to place your order, they bring you these crisps, and there's some which are like a potato crisp, and then there's like a beetroot crisp.
Beetroot crisp, yep.
But the dips that they give you are
really good. I sort of wanted more crisps.
Yeah, we could have had more crisps instead of the chips and gravy. But there was 3 dips. There was a pickled onion dip. There was like a cheesy dip.
There was a cheese dip.
And what was the third dip?
Was it like chive or something?
No.
No?
Oh, I'm not sure what the third dip was now.
Can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, we'll look it up and put it on the screen, because that's going to annoy us now. But yeah, they were really nice. And actually, as Will says, we could have probably had a lot more of those, but we probably would have had no room for our dinner then.
No.
So, moral of the story is, folks, definitely go and try Piccadilly's. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
No.
Yeah. So, we had obviously went for dinner a bit later, so we decided to catch the later show in the theatre. And basically tonight, the showcast had a night off, and it was a guest entertainer called John Phillip. He basically is a singer. I felt a very good singer, and he certainly had everybody in the crowd like ready for a party. And he's originally from America, and he sort of told me a bit about his story about how he worked in Vegas and how he got a sort of big break in Vegas and how he met his wife there and things like that, and then he was sort of, dear help him, he was sort of saying then he moved to the sunny climes of Wigan. But I really enjoyed him. He had a great sort of range, I felt.
Yeah, he certainly wasn't my cup of tea, but this is just me. I'm a little adverse to guest entertainment, and I would just prefer the showcast. But obviously, they do need a night off, a well-earned night off, and they'll be back on all the other nights of the cruise, so that's good. So then after the guest performer, we actually stayed on in the theatre because it was the Marella Discovery 2 cruise show.
That I know that joy. You're all right, you're only on for a week, maybe 2, try 6 months. No, I'm not gonna lie, I am.
Eyes over me so I can leave. I'm far too ashamed, and you always there. Thank you so much, guys.
we're a big fan of cruise shows.
Yeah.
Not all cruise lines do them. I know some people sort of feel, oh, they're a bit distasteful, you know, and they should just, you know, give the crew their time off that they deserve. But for me, anyway, I really like seeing the cruise show because you see people that you would not normally see about the ship. You know, we've been to cruise shows in the past, but there's been people in the laundry. There's been maybe somebody from like the engine room,
Our maintenance
team, or you know, deckhand or whatever they're called, that you wouldn't always sort of see. And I just sort of think that because we don't get to see these people all the time, we can't really show our appreciation to them in any way. So it's really nice whenever they're on stage. And the audience are always so supportive of the crew. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did. It was good.
It was really good to sort of see the crew having fun. And actually, as well as that, what was also nice was we actually sort of seen a lot of the entertainment staff and the showcast team and things like that, and other members sort of dotted about the audience as well, so that they were there, maybe on their time off, but they were supporting their fellow colleagues, which was lovely to see.
So if you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up down below and click subscribe. It is free, and ring the bell so you'll be notified the next time a new video comes out. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.